Our American way of life, isn't it grand? Peace, freedom, and bacon and eggs. Seems perfect. But what if it's not? Friends, your future may not be as secure as you think. Where will you be when the atomic bombs fall? You can secure your family's future by listening to a group of people play a tabletop role-playing game. That's right, it's all about the horrors of nuclear devastation. You could imagine yourself as a vault dweller, or form a more serious connection with someone else. Just a few rolls of the dice, and you could be disintegrating a radroach. There's lots of swell kids to play with. Come join our party as we survive the brutal hell that is the wasteland. Subscribe now and prepare for the future.
Backing up as we get to this scene, the interior of this trolley is kind of like covered with several benches where there's at least 20 humans that are sitting there kind of shivering in wet rags and cloths. The front of the trolley has this like makeshift engine that sits kind of undisturbed. There's like crackling electricity overhead as like the wires and everything are attached to it. And lights are like swinging overhead, casting kind of like shadows. They're like moving around like it's it's obviously like a train. In the back of the train sits an open area with handles descending from the ceiling and small levers flank the sides on the open area. Clark, you feel your body being like kind of like somebody is like taking control of you, and you feel yourself walking towards the door. You have a moment to speak about this, because you were still in control of your voice, but your body is doing something very different from what is going on here. What are you doing here?
Hey, this is after he said, "Why don't you jump off and die?"
Yeah, and you failed that roll.
Okay. And I have no control over my body other than my voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Clark will just say, "Okay, if you want to talk now, that sounds great."
So
okay.
I think
I don't really seem like I have a choice.
Perception roll.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Hazel is noticing there's something weird happening. Do me and Pep have to do perception rolls to see if we...
Yeah, do perception plus speech difficulty 1.
Okay. Perception plus speech difficulty 1. Okay.
Classic Clark.
Does that mean you got to
18 to 19? Classic Clark.
Pep did well enough. Let's see what Hazel gets.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've done this. Hold on.
It's in the upper left-hand corner.
Character sheet setting. Oh, there it is. All right. So it was perception plus speech.
Speech. Yeah, for difficulty 1.
All right. No whammies.
2 successes as well. So Pep and Hazel have 2 successes. You realize that the way that you could like feel this like way that Marty spoke to Clark in that moment, and it kind of like resonated over your body. You feel something like you would describe as like kind of weirdly mystical in some way. Like it gives you the heebie-jeebies, while Clark is like the body of Clark is like out of sync with the mouth of Clark. Like, you could tell that, like, there are shenanigans afoot. Shenanigans are about, my friends.
This feels like woo-woo shit. Okay, I'm going to tackle Clark before he can jump off the trolley. I'm going to tackle.
Okay. Do strength plus. Nope. Agility plus athletics for difficulty 0.
Agility plus athletics. Oh no! And I'm going to yell, oh, shit! I'm going in. 1 success.
1 success. Great. You tackle Clark, and when Clark hits the ground, Clark, you can feel your body kind of like untense itself, and then like you are now in control of your body again.
Clark, talk to me, man. What's going on? Clark.
I don't know what the fuck that was, but if he wants to talk now, let's go ahead and talk.
Do you?
I don't
God, this guy is dumb.
I don't think he wanted to talk, Clark. I think he wanted you to die.
Okay, I'm gonna get off of Clark.
How close is Pep? How close is Pep to me?
It's a trolley, so like you're close. He's in power armor on a street trolley. He is close to everything.
And it's probably a good idea that I tackled you instead of Pep.
Indeed.
Pep, give me a bear hug real quick so you can't pull that shit again. Don't let me walk off, but I have some shit I want to say to this fucker.
All right, that seems fair.
At this point, Signal kind of goes up to Lonnie because he's best friends with Lonnie, and comes up to him and says, Mayor Lonnie, get us out of here.
Me? All right. Straight ahead. Do you know how to drive this thing?
I talked to Madame Malavance, and she said, get trolley.
Can you drive the trolley?
Signal knows how to go forward. That's it.
Okay. All right, Pep.
Yeah, what you need? I'm bear hugging Clark right now.
Yep. I might need your expertise. I think I can operate this if you can show me what's going on. I'm going to use my knowledge of town to try to navigate us out.
Yeah.
And then if we can get out of town, that's great. And then we'll, figure out like the settlement or something like that afterward. But I think getting out of town's priority.
Yep.
But
all right. Hazel, why don't you bolo Clark's legs so he can't get off the train, and I'll figure out how to drive this trolley.
Hey, fuck you, Marty. Why don't you come up here? I'll still find a way to kill you even if I can't use my body.
Yeah, that's pretty kinky. I'll get my bolos.
Marty looks at you and smiles and says, swallow your tongue. And if you could please roll charisma plus speech for difficulty 2.
is he, who'd he tell that to?
Clark. As Clark is like yelling at the window like a little kid, I think.
We're going to go ahead and roll an AP on that one. Yeah. There's my 2.
Success to not swallow your tongue.
That's
Great.
right.
Yeah. You say the thing that you meant to say to him, and he tells you to swallow your tongue, and you do not swallow your tongue. Congratulations.
Hazel is ready with her like her gripper of death to reach into his mouth and grab his tongue.
Clark sticks his tongue out at him.
Just to be safe, Hazel has grasped his tongue like a 5-year-old messing with their 6-year-old sibling who won't stop saying, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, just holding his tongue for a second there. Make sure he doesn't swallow it. It's kind of gross.
So for Pep, there's like this you can note it, like knowing like your history of cars. I'm not going to make you identify what's an engine or not. You're just going to know because you're That's like, can Lonnie look at power armor, know what that is? Like, you recognize that there is an engine. It's different from any engine you've particularly seen because it's a very compact nuclear engine in the front of this car. You have some experience with them, but experience with nuclear engines, but not particularly this style that seemed like it was designed for a streetcar. Okay. And I am now thinking about this. A streetcar named Desire is like literally something I've almost said a million times. Anyways. Anywho. If you want to do anything with that, you know what it is.
Okay, so Lonnie is driving, correct?
I think you're driving. Lonnie wants to direct.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, if you can teach me how to drive, great. But I think
I don't feel like now's the time.
Right. Well, I mean, now that we have figured out how to,
the perfect time.
Well, we've got Clark situated. My concern was like, okay, that's a lot for Pep to do, is to bear hug you and try to drive. Like, imagine having a toddler in your lap while you're trying.
I thought Clark is boloed at this point.
That solves that problem.
I have thoroughly restrained him, including his tongue. So he's mostly
Clark's not fighting that, by the way, because like he asked to be restrained.
Yeah.
Right, he did.
So here's what Pep would want to do. He's going to keep using Lonnie. All right, you steer. You know the streets. You know the roads. You go ahead and steer. Like, just, keep it steady. And then Pep's going to talk in length about this kind of nuclear engine. And he's just going to, just go on and on about the way nuclear power worked in cars pre-war, how it's been jerry-rigged after the war. He's just going to just info dump on Lonnie in maybe a very boring way. But that's what Pep would do. It'd be like, you got to look at this. Okay, so
I'm probably not hearing a word of it.
Which makes it even better.
Yeah,
Hazel
it's just
has
like
never been
every
so
now and then was
Pep.
like in the middle of a sentence, so what makes us go faster?
I'm like, this probably doesn't go any faster. This engine isn't meant to go fast.
Gotcha.
This is meant to just, be continuous movement. So,
if you're looking for that answer of is it supposed to go faster, if you want to figure that out, that's something you may not. You may need to roll for that.
Right. I'm just using that as an
like,
example of just how little investment I have in what he's saying right now, and I'm just focused on trying to navigate us out of the city.
But as soon as you said something about, does this go any faster? Pep's gonna be like, I think I can make it go faster. So I would like to roll to see if I can look at this engine to see if there's anything I can tweak with it while it's running and in motion. That might give us a little bit more speed.
Intelligence plus repair for difficulty 2. I think you can make that. That's what I would say, because you're dealing with nuclear mechanics at this point.
Yeah.
All he has to do is remove some of the carbon rods.
Ooh, what
could go wrong?
Can I try assist on that? Since I'm
that would actually make sense. Go ahead and try.
That is a tag skill. So that's 2 successes.
You didn't know you had to roll 3 better.
Oh, damn.
This was intelligence repair.
Yeah.
There's your assist.
Great. That actually works well because Pep, you have the idea that if you had some other type of fusion energy that you could actually use that as an accelerant. Lonnie, you know that another source of nuclear power is from fusion cores, and every power armor has a fusion core in it.
I'll hear the fusion things like, Pep, can you wire yourself into the engine or take the core out for a minute or?
I could do that, Lonnie.
Okay.
Are we in a rush? Do we need to get away faster? I thought maybe this is an intellectual exercise.
That's fine, but my eyes are on the front. If someone, I don't know who's looking behind us right now, rear guard.
You all have moved slowly, but you are now in the pack of people And this crowd has turned it into like they are not moving whatsoever, and so you are just like running over everyone.
It's the trolley problem. Awesome.
In the you were just like running over people, and maybe you hadn't noticed this when you were like trying to figure out this engine thing, Lonnie, but that is what is happening right now because these people are not moving.
Oh my God.
I think we're all clones. Also, can you let go of my tongue, please?
Hopefully it's raining so hard I can't notice that I'm hitting people.
It's just a bunch of wet. Just a bunch of wet.
I really like
wow,
Lonnie
this road's really pockmarked.
Yeah, we're looking at the engine. We're like, what? Why does the road get so bumpy all of a sudden? And we both look out the window and just like, oh my God.
I kind of love that this team's answer to the trolley problem was to run over more people faster. Is totally the answer to the trolley problem.
I didn't realize I was in the trolley problem. I thought the trolley problem was getting on the trolley, steering it. No.
I said that there was a giant crowd in the middle of the street, and to get to the other side of the street, you got to use the trolley tracks, which are historically in the very middle of the street.
Well,
we made a ding ding with the bell. They heard us coming. It's their fault. It's not like we could turn.
No, I don't think I can hear anything right now. And can you please let go of my tongue?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Hazel lets go of Clark's tongue. Sorry, man. You okay?
At this point, you all hear a sound, and it is a kick up and a revving. And you see that there are 8 preservationists on motorcycles to the from where the motorcycles were originally parked, and they are revving up and are starting to kick off towards the trolley, and they all have satch guns in hand.
All right, I guess we gotta go faster. Those nerds are gonna catch up.
I have a question. What is the plural of lone wanderers? Because lone wanderer infers there'd only be one motorcycle, and yet there's like what is it like a congress of lone wanderers? a cluster
Maybe it's
of lone
like
wanderers?
cul-de-sac.
a club. It is
A club. There we go. A club. I like that. That word.
All right,
okay.
Pep's gonna
so guys, we got a
club
coming after us right now.
As best it can, I actually exit my power armor in this, or is it too cramped?
You can exit your power armor, yeah.
All right, we're gonna exit the power armor. I'll pop out the fusion core, and we'll jerry rig the speed booster.
Yeah. Right. So go ahead and just do like a intelligence plus pilot difficulty 1 while you're doing that. Lonnie, what'd you have? Do you have something to say?
I was basically going to tell Pep like he's on driving duty, and I'm going to try to get to the back of the trolley with my gun and start covering the back.
Okay. Pep, you managed to like figure out that you can hold the fusion core in place to go faster. There's not much that you can like attach it to. There's not a bunch of things that you could like jury rig it onto. But if you hold it in a certain spot, with a hand or with something, you can make it go faster, and you do.
Okay.
And so now we're going to get into a little bit of combat here. We're going to do kind of a weird little thing where it's going to be a round of combat. Then there's going to be a little decision, a little problem, and then we're going to repeat the process again. So you only have, with that speed boost, you have 6 preservationists that are ready to attack you all. They're going to go last in the turn order. The first in the turn order is actually Clark. It's going to be Clark, Lonnie, Hazel, and Pep. And then it is the Signal is kind of like managing these people and also trying to take care of Madame Malavance, who is like on the trolley, but they're like busy like taking care of the people. These preservationists can damage you all. They can damage the trolley. They can hurt the people on the trolley. And where they are at, it's actually going to be a difficulty 3 for this round as far as how you can shoot them. And that goes for them as well. They're going to have to pass a difficulty 3 to attack you all as well. So,
okay. DM, I have a slight meta question.
Yes.
So when I had Hazel grab a drink right before we left, my intention was to have her grab a bottle of something.
Okay.
So is it possible she still has a bottle of something highly alcoholic and flammable on her?
Yeah.
That was my intention, but I didn't spell it out explicitly.
Yeah, I think you specifically said you were grabbing a drink, so I think that's fine. Yeah, if you want a Molotov or something.
Yeah, I wasn't going to pour petite cocktail.
Yeah.
But she was not in the mood for that. Although I think absinthe does have a high enough alcohol content that it would work as a Molotov cocktail.
Sure.
All right, so
Clark is first in the order here.
Perfect.
Clark only grabbed his sword from Pep. So
Who grabbed Clark's gun?
Please
I
tell me
guess it's
somebody grabbed it.
possession.
Did somebody say that they grabbed Clark's gun?
I took his
Hazel-
weapon and gave Pep the
Hazel
sword.
was covering with Clark's gun
Okay. That's
Okay.
when she went to cover.
Oh, good. Okay. You're near me.
Because my itty
Hazel,
bitty piccolo isn't going to do a lot, and she was aware of that.
you just doled them out, didn't y'all?
Yeah.
So I'm going to need my gun, Hazel, I think. If I could have
All right,
that.
Hazel's going to think for a minute and is going to check. Yeah, there's Marty Buffon and his weird sort of mind warping, like charm voice thing. He's too far away to do that to Clark again.
Yeah, you all have passed by that crowd. You do not see these people anymore, and you all are kind of like there. This is a chase scene.
Okay, so yeah, Hazel's definitely going to hand the gun back, and she's going to unbolo his legs and his arms for him very quickly.
I feel like that should be like Clark's turn and probably Hazel's while we do that.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's going to take me a while to do that.
Yeah, so
All
I'll
right.
get my gun and we'll untie me, and I guess whoever's next in the round.
Sounds great. Nightmare Lonnie.
Well, I've got my gun out. Problem is, this is going to be a tough shot for this essentially laser shotgun. And it's inaccurate, so I can't take a minor action to improve my team. So I'm just going to take a shot and see what happens, because mainly I was like, maybe it'll run someone off the road. Who knows? That's just a single success.
Yeah, so you take a shot, and you just like miss. You're going so fast on the trolley. There's motorcycles. There's a lot going on. Getting a shot off in this, I think, is kind of tough.
That was predictable.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Pep. You don't have power armor on. You're holding
no
a
power
core
armor.
in place. What are you doing?
Steering wheel on the other hand. Are the motorcycles still behind us, or are they kind of catching up to our sides?
They're not like in front of you. They're kind of like they are surrounding you until you held that fusion core in, and then like the faster you go, the more they'll be towards your back, essentially.
Okay. Yeah. Best course of action is just keeping steady hand on the wheel, trying to get us ahead of them as much as possible.
Okay, great. That is perfect. Next up, we've got all these preservationists looking. They're out here today. They're looking to make some shots, some big moves here. They're trying to get a promotion. They're trying to be really well preserved, I think. I didn't program a Satch gun today for them, which I should have done. So they're gonna just roll. I think it was 4 combat dice for the Satch gun, wasn't it? something like that. What's your 3? Okay,
yeah, 3.
Yeah, they're gonna run.
They're other goodies if you roll.
Yeah.
Bases.
Yeah. Let's see what they do. They only get 2 successes, so one of them misses. We're just gonna have a few rounds here to see if all 6 of them can kind of get off any shots whatsoever. They did not get off. Well, I got one more. Let's see if they pull it off. Oh, got one that pulled it off.
Hero Man did it. Oh, he did. Oh no.
Yeah, let's who was that one targeting? I have no clue, but as far as people that are like up and about, the only one that's fired off has been Lonnie. So they're definitely aiming for Lonnie with this one, and I'm gonna roll 3 damage dice, and we'll see what tracks here. You take a whopping 1 damage, Lonnie, and that
energy 2 on everything. So
yeah, it's gonna be. It's going to be nothing. So you
that
all
effect though, didn't it?
It did.
That's piercing 1, so it ignores 1 armor. Wait, I still have energy 2 on everything.
You still have energy 2 on everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna roll it as a crit for that? Since it was a 1?
Well, yep, I would. It is indeed a 1, and I think
Lonnie,
it's 2.
Do it.
I think they got to do it. I mean, it should be.
I think you're right. I did a 1, and we're doing if you get 1s. If you
I feel like we got to do it, you know.
Roll 3 more.
I'm getting there. Just give me a second.
Do it, coward.
I'm getting there. Just give me in my just dressed ghouls on motorcycles riding around like it's Indiana Jones a gosh darn second here.
Don't taunt the DM. It's a bad idea.
So
just
that is a total 2 damage, 1 pierce. I'll take 1 damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 damage to you. At this point, the trolley itself, you all are, Pep's kind of driving. Pep, you see a warehouse, and you know that the trolley is on the tracks, and it's going to go through that warehouse. There's no, if you stop now, it's not going to, you're still going to crash into it. And the trolley crashes into giant wooden doors, sending splinters flying, flying around. It doesn't harm you all at all, but it stuns all the preservationists behind you. As the trolley kind of slows down in this warehouse, it's now kind of everyone's kind of jostled. You're all back. Your hand is off the fusion core in there. There's kind of these bottles littering the ground as you see various pressing machines that are on the floor. From overhead, there are several crates that are strung up by strings, and the commotion causes a few of their contents to spill out. And you spy tiny metal pieces in the air, and you recognize them as bottle caps. The preservationists begin their firing on the warehouse as lasers kind of pierce through the room in random locations. But you are in a bottle capping warehouse with these kind of crates of bottle caps above you. What are you all doing? What's going on here?
Is the trolley? I mean, the trolley's gonna stop in this warehouse, or is it gonna be able to just blow through the other side?
It's going to be able to blow through the other side, but it's if you want to just bust on through. But you are in, you're essentially in a Fort Knox style area. With there are bottle caps littering everywhere, hanging from the ceiling in crates. On top of your trolley that there is room for things to be stashed up there.
Clark does
Look,
the only thing he likes more than killing things is money. So, are we still in combat, or are they far enough back?
This is a scenario, and once you leave, you'll be in another round of combat. But it is dangerous to work in this little scenario. So the preservationists are out of it. They're just firing lasers into the warehouse at random places, trying to flush you all out.
How close are the crates to like the top of the trolley?
They're kind of like dangling above you, and they are like, you could, like, they are enough. They're like, maybe the strings that are holding these up are maybe 2 arms lengths away. Like, they are very close.
Yeah, see, you know what I'm getting at. Clark gonna climb on top of the trolley.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna climb on top of the trolley, and I would like to roll to any of them that pass nearby that seems like, at least some, hopefully the whole crate, but at least some of the crate is going to fall onto the trolley if I manage to cut a string. I would like to roll to try to do that if it is a possibility.
What are you cutting it with the sword? With the sword?
Yes, with the sword.
Do a luck plus melee weapons for a. We're gonna do a difficulty 3. But based on what you roll, there will be different levels of success for that.
Okay, I have. All right, what was the roll again? Luck
plus melee weapons.
I have a 4 in luck, and I have. I got a 4 in melee weapons, and it is a tag skill. And what I'm going to do is I have my final AP that I can spend.
Okay.
I'm going to roll the 3.
Okay.
See how that looks. Jesus Christ. All right, well, never mind. Actually, you know what? Whatever. He wants money, right? That's a very Clark thing to do. I'm going to re-roll I'm going to use all 3 of my luck points, and I'm going to re-roll it. All 3 of them.
Okay.
Oh my God. All right, no successes at all anywhere. I have no available luck.
You go up to try to.
Oh my God!
How do I describe this? You go up to you grab your sword. You go up to go cut the crates off, and as you cut, you kind of have this like weird muscle spasm because literally somebody was controlling your body earlier, and you try to control that, and you try to like whip your sword around to bring it around, and there was about maybe like 4 crates in this giant sack above you. 3 of those crates go crashing down the sides of the trolley, and one of them lands directly into it. But these crates themselves have kind of fallen, and as the lasers are piercing in, the bottle caps that are on the floor now of the warehouse are melting. Like, how can I make this even worse for you? How can I make this like the most possible thing? I think the melting bottle caps is.
Sword yet.
He hasn't dropped his sword. Oh, and you drop when you cut it. Yeah, this is great. See, this is why I need this. Why I need Jared in my life. When you cut it, your sword is lodged into the box that is sitting on the trolley. You can pull it out yourself. But I
thought you were going to say it fell off, and I was like, all right.
No.
You know what he's doing next.
So the lasers. Let me get this right. Metagaming here. The ground has gotten so hot from all the lasers that the bottle caps, the aluminum bottle caps on the floor of the place are melting.
Yes. So, it is now melting. The floor is lava because Clark literally used every stroke of luck he had. And I had previously said that if you do that, there's going to be even worse outcomes. So now you just have a crate of bottle caps on top of the trolley. The floor is lava.
Okay, so the floor is lava all around us. And it's a hot enough temperature, it should melt the tires of the motorcycle.
That's in the warehouse. The motorcycles are not in the warehouse themselves.
Man,
they are from the outside shooting in.
Is the trolley is still moving?
It is like slowly moving forward. Pep has taken the fusion core off of it, so kind of like Pep is the driver here, and he kind of can control how fast this goes. And so you generally have like really slow, like moving along, or if he puts the fusion core on it, you can start busting through some stuff.
Yeah, okay. I take it that Pep was jostled and the fusion core kind of is wherever he's kind of holding it up against. And as soon as he's kind of like settled and seeing a hot, melty floor, that fusion core is going back in its spot, and Pep is going full steam ahead.
Clark, after he sees that the bottle caps are melting, he's gonna just fall prone on the roof of the trolley, and he's gonna like kind of like the railing over the top. He's gonna grab onto and like stick his head fully sort of like over the edge of the trolley, and loud enough that everybody can hear him, he's gonna just give off a string of expletives and a few colorful ones. I don't feel like we should put on the podcast, but he's just going to go at it for a little while with the tragedy of seeing all of this money that he is now squandered away.
I like it. At that point, you were yelling expletives as kind of the fusion core gets tucked into it, and so like then that like accelerates you a little bit, and you hear like a fa, and you're kind of like jostled back up on top of the roof, and the train is moving forward again. Clark, you are on top of the roof. You were also first in the turn order. There are there's 6 preservationists like there were before. I'm not counting the ones down here that are kind of. But anyways, there's 6 preservationists. What are you doing? They're all still at difficulty 3 to hit.
I'm going to sort of like stay prone, but kind of like roll on my back to the crate.
Mm-hmm.
And like staying prone on my back, try and dislodge the sword from the crate.
When you
so he's like kind of on his back. Yeah. He's gonna like kick his leg up to like get some leverage and kind of like yank this thing out.
Do luck plus melee weapons for difficulty 2.
I'm lucky. This character is not lucky. He does not have points in luck. All right. Luck is 4. Let me get that back 2. And what did you say? Melee weapons?
Yeah, melee weapons difficulty 2.
All right. So needed 8 or lower. Okay. There we go. 3 successes.
So when you pull your sword out, you see a few bottle caps kind of escape like there was a leak, and then one bottle cap flushes completely over the thing that you had your sword in, so that no more bottle caps are leaking out of this crate. You generally knowing on like you are kind of adverse in money. You understand money. You notice that you probably have about 5,000 bottle caps in this crate.
For my minor action, Clark would like to pocket any of the bottle caps that fell out on the trough.
Okay, you pocket 3 bottle caps.
However many it is.
Sure. 3 bottle caps. Good job, buddy. Moving on to Lonnie Haybear here.
I'm going to take another just Hail Mary shot here to see if
Hail Mary. Yeah, see if you can hit some.
Hey.
Dang. Yeah, roll double for me as well. Pretty much. Also, the thing is, if you hit one of them with just like regular 2 dice, you're most likely going to get that double damage crit because of how the rolls go.
Right.
It's just the rules. The rules I made.
Oh, 1 second. That's
rules.
I did something to try to compensate, and then I realized that it's got that going on. All right. So that is 7 damage. It will pierce through 2 armor, and it will also do 3 damage to 2 other sites. So if you're not keeping track of where the bullets are hitting, that's 13 damage.
So you you fire off this shot, and you press that 4th valve, and it's absolutely like it just like comes out of the barrel, and It doesn't actually. It hits the preservationist and he's hurt, but it ignites the gas canister on the motorcycle as well, and there's a giant explosion and a puff of smoke as you travel forward that disappears behind you. So good job, you got one of them down. You did good.
Yay!
He's still alive, right? He's still. I didn't kill him, right?
You Batman.
Just a no death run. Him. I'm trying to. Oh yeah. Okay.
He is. You did not specifically drive the knife in his back, but I mean, for gameplay purposes, he's definitely dead. But I don't know if Lonnie would know. Lonnie just saw him explode.
Yeah, I just saw the bike explode. It wasn't his head got blown off or anything. So
yeah,
as far as I know, I'm not a murderer yet.
All right,
but, that's my turn.
All right, Hazel, that's a great turn, Hazel.
Well, she is going to try and turn that bottle of alcohol she had on her after she takes a quick swig of it into a Molotov cocktail. And
for that, if you could do intelligence plus throwing for difficulty 1 in order to just like make that. Okay. And that could be a minor action, and you can take a major one after that.
Perfect. So that would be intelligence plus
throwing.
Throwing.
Because it's a throwing weapon.
2 successes.
Yeah. Pocket that AP and tell me what you're doing with that Molotov.
So I am I'm targeting the bike that is in the lead that's left. Also knowing that with the alcohol, it should have a little bit of a splash cone when it hits. So anybody behind it should end up driving through the fire from the Molotov cocktail also. So there might be some area damage well enough. So it's worth a try. At the very least, they're going to have to drive through some fire.
I like it. Go ahead and do, what is that? Throwing plus, what is the perception? Agility? Okay.
Yeah, probably. So
agility plus throwing.
Plus throwing.
For difficulty 3.
Let's see. Do I want to add one of my AP to it? I think I only have 1 AP left.
You got an AP earlier for...
Yep, I did. You know what? I'm going to use my AP to do 3 D20s. So, rolling 2 successes.
2 successes. You, tell you what.
Weird. It's a tag skill too, but I only got 2 successes.
You didn't roll a 4 or better.
Yeah, you gotta roll.
Yeah, you didn't roll a 4.
Okay.
Yeah. You throw this Molotov cocktail and it ignites the ground. And it actually slows down. It doesn't hurt, but it kind of like catches the wheels on fire of one of the preservationists, and one of them has kind of like fallen back. So now there are only 4 on you specifically.
So I made a Ghost Rider basically.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'll take it.
Next up, we've got Pep Hackett.
So there's explosions going on behind me. Yeah, Pep just keeps... I guess Pep doesn't know where he's going, so he's just following the track and keeping the speed up as much as he can.
Ahead of you, Pep, you see this sign that has this like... It has these paddles that are kind of large. One way says... Hang on, let me get my notes. As you are heading towards the lighting, try to change that sign. by you, and in your she kind of like your vision kind of clouds, and at this point please do a perception plus pilot difficulty 2.
Perception. Pilot.
One success. So you see a vision of a kind of a radio station that has a number of different buildings that are connected by this arcing electricity that connects all of them, and the vision kind of like blinks itself out, and another vision comes in, and it has, hang on one second. It has this kind of like fortress that's built around a radio, this kind of radio tower, this kind of like metal, like bunker almost. It's like a castle. And your vision comes back, and you realize that you've taken the fusion core off of the throttle. And you probably put that back on, but in that time, the ghoul that the preservationist that had its tire kind of on fire is back up in front of us again because the trolley slowed down for a minute. So that's what Madame Malvance gives you.
All right, we're going to the lighting workshop.
Great. Before that happens, you've got to deal with all of these gosh darn preservationists, and boy howdy, don't you just hate them when they're chasing you, giving you a hard time? I do. Yeah, they're gonna do a good energy
like
weapons
they don't
roll
want to
here.
preserve at all.
Yeah, I think they don't. That's a no from them. Oh, ooh.
Stop. Ugh.
Oh, they're aiming at Lonnie Haybear. Let's see how many they get, because Lonnie Haybear is the one that is the only one that is engaging with these people. I'm not trying to pick on Lonnie here, but
no, that's fine.
But you're the only one. Let's see, bam, and one more. Damn. Did I get that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll some damage dice on that. We're just gonna do cancel. Yeah, we're gonna do.
For those listening, they rolled 2 natural ones.
Bam.
Which is the good thing in this game.
Bam.
All right. 2.
Wait. Nope.
Here.
Nope.
Wait, that's the first attack, though. That's the first guy. Right? The devil's in the details here.
What are you talking about?
Like the first pair of rolls is from the first attack, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that is 2 damage total. That is 1 piercing, but that doesn't go through.
Yes.
Wait, so there's the spread. So it actually, okay. No, it spreads though. So it'll do 2 damage at one place and 1 at another. But I've got energy resistance 2 everywhere. So that first one is moot.
Yeah.
The second one's going to be bad.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, because that is 4 damage.
Yep.
And then 2 with 3 piercing.
Yeah.
Which means all of it goes through. So there is a 4 2 all piercing, so 4, 6, 8. That's 10 damage.
Yeah.
I took 2 damage.
One thing I really like about this game is the combat is much all of a sudden shit can get real like very quickly, and I think that's congruent with the world.
How many hit points does Lonnie have?
I'm down to 5. That hit me at 4 different places, guys. Oof. Like that was bat. Like that was.
Your body is just
stay down,
riddled.
Yeah, that hurt real bad.
So at this point, you hear a buzzing sound kind of above you, above the trolley, and electricity kind of like is going with the trolley itself, and the buzzing is growing louder, and then the trolley kind of like screeches to a halt as it enters another large warehouse. There's up above, there's kind of like electricity that's arcing between a bunch of giant orbs. The orbs are kind of up in the air. There's these machines. They're kind of compact enough so that they're the size of, let's say a crate. And there's a bunch of them that are kind of up above. There's a number of lighting fixtures that are kind of like dangling throughout as well. What's going on here? The person that's on top of the train currently is Clark. So I will probably start with him, or the other, we'll start with him since he's the first one to kind of like get this in view of what's going on here.
Well, I guess it's time for redemption. Try and cut down another crate here. Can't go any worse, can it?
They aren't exactly crates. They are the kind of machinery that's been, I guess, like suspended by some metal brackets from the top of it. I'm not trying to dissuade you from doing like a giant apple. Let's cut the pirate's booty and throw it on the thing, but it would have to require something different from you, as they are like metal bars that come down that are just holding these things in place. You could still get them off if you wanted to, but it's a different.
How sturdy do they look?
They are rusty, my friend. They are rusty motherfuckers.
How tall are they above?
They are within 2 arms length.
Whatever. Clark is going to jump on top of the crate of bottle caps and then kind of like ready himself and try and just like tackle it as the trolley drives past it.
Okay. Okay. Do
like you his ready stance. He's like, all right, come on, we got this one.
Do
it's like in Wipeout when like the really slow moving like padded thing goes. You're just committed to hugging onto it.
Yes, exactly.
I think agility plus athletics. We'll do another difficulty 3 with a mixed success based on what you roll. Last time you rolled complete fails.
I have a 9 in agility this time and a 2 in athletics, so the odds are in my favor. But I'm not going to spend an AP, and it's not a tag skill, so I can't get, unless I get like a natural 1 or anything. I'm not going to get.
You got like
all
a 75%
here,
chance or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to get all 3 here, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to roll this. And what do we get here? Okay. That's no successes. So.
Yeah, my friend. Clark readies himself from that crate and jumps onto the. It's kind of like a large base, and at the top is a giant orb that is kind of like arcing electricity between the whole warehouse. And Clark, your hands grab that orb, and they kind of pry onto it. And it electrocutes you. So could you do, I would say, with that roll, let's see. Go ahead and, well, I'll do it just for myself. I'll come in here. I'll hurt you myself, by George.
I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself. Let's see what a good, so that'd be Molotov, or do that. Let's see what that does.
I do have some energy resistance, I would like to say. On both hands, I have 1. Or both arms, I have 1, I guess.
Okay, yeah, you just take, so that would be with the effect. I'm not sure what the effect of a Tesla thing. I think it's stunning. Probably.
Yeah,
if you jumped onto a Tesla globe and stuck your hands on there, like you're probably stunned. And so with you have at least 1 energy resistance on each hand, right? So go ahead and take 2 damage.
Okay.
Good thing you got a man bun keeping that hair in place. Otherwise,
oh, your hair is fried at the ends now. Like it is like you have gone down and electrocuted yourself, son. Like you really. you've really gotten it up. So when you grab onto that globe, you manage to pry it free though, and it falls onto the top trunk of the trolley. And when it does, it actually connects with the wires above in the position that you have it in. And while you're still being electrocuted, that's electrocuting the line that's connecting the trolley. And the trolley begins to move even faster. And it is going incredibly fast as it kind of like blows through this warehouse.
Warp speed, Jolly Trolley.
You see a sign that says like leaving New Orleans, 1 mile. And at this speed, there's only 2 preservationists that are kind of left chasing you all. So we'll do one more round here. So we'll start with Clark. Here's the thing, though, Clark. You done goofed it up. You're still being you're like right in the socket. Like, some people are in the pocket. You're in the socket. So we'll go back to Lonnie Haybear. How are we doing on health there, Lonnie? What's the?
We're on a scale of 1 to 16. I'm at about a 5.
That's very specific. That's a very specific scale. That's amazing.
I'm probably going to yell up to the roofs like a little cover fire might be nice, because I haven't heard a single shot be fired from the roof, but I
can't respond.
Right.
I can't respond.
Yeah,
so.
but like I have no idea what's going on up there. Just a bunch of thudding and no gunfire or anything. It's just, what type of difficult? Are we still looking at like difficulty 3 to fire on these?
Change it up because nobody's, we're having fun here. We're all just having fun here, not make up the rules. We're changing up. These guys are getting a little bit closer, and they're now at difficulty 2.
All right.
It's for fun.
I'm going to spend an action point, and I'm just going to try to take these guys out.
All right.
And trust the people. I have in the back of my mind, like, Hazel will take care of me. I've seen her do it before. I'm just going to inflict violence right now. Hey, 3 successes, not a crit, but
wow, yeah.
And then
go ahead and roll damage die. I'm gonna take away your AP here in a minute. So I would say roll again your damage die, and you can like do 2 shots essentially.
So roll twice.
Roll twice, but they'll each do to a different ghoul. We'll see what you get. We'll see if you can do something.
Let me try it this way. I tried something and it was a little. Oh, okay. So it's to 2 different people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
4, 6, 8. So the top one is 8 damage with 2 piercing, and the bottom one is 8 damage with 2 piercing.
All right, so
you a little overpowered.
You turn around and they're on motorcycles, and so it's like any spread of a shot that hits is like logically going to harm the motorcycle in some way. And here's the thing: if you ever played a video game, if you shoot the vehicle, it's gonna blow up. Them's just the rules. I don't make the rules, other than the times that I do. So you kind of pop off 2 shots. One on the left, one on the right, and get rid of the last of the preservationists, ending their chasing you. You can see there's more in the distance, but nobody's in range for attacking. They're just continuing to chase you all. You get to the end of kind of the line. There's a gate there, and you see this guy in a distance, like, turn around and look inward towards the city and starts running towards the tower. As the trolley kind of moves forward, the gate descends and the trolley passes through the gate to New Orleans out onto the railroad tracks beyond, powered only by the nuclear engine within. And as you pass, you see the face of a very familiar person from the guard tower. The guard tower is populated by one person, and his name is Jack McPumpkins. And Jack McPumpkins looks at the troop and mouths WTF as the trolley speeds towards Rising Sun Settlement.
Godspeed, you son of a bitch.
We have a little bit of time in the session, so if you guys felt like unpacking some stuff as we travel back, now was a great time. I've got, another like 15 minutes or so. If you want to do some unpacking as you travel along, have some engagements with each other, I can signal Madame Malavance and 20 humans survived. If nobody attacked the preservationists, you would have the preservationists attacking the humans in general. But you all have managed to net 20 human settlers, a trolley that is your own, 5,000 caps, and a giant Tesla coil that gives out electricity. And this was my way of rewarding you for the giant quest I've had you on for now 4 months. So enjoy.
I'm glad I went with the lighting workshop so we can get electricity for the settlement.
You could have had 20,000 caps.
I was just about to say,
Clark.
You could have had less too, because he could have pulled it out, and the caps just continually spill out.
Right.
Well, we didn't get a water chip, but maybe I don't know. So 20 human settlers, not ghouls, but human.
Human.
Okay, so if we're out of combat, going to do Lonnie pin cushion.
You're kind of cutting out a little bit there for me, so go ahead and say that again, what you're going to do.
Sorry. Hazel's going to go up and start working on Lonnie because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes in him.
They might still be smoking. I'm not sure Lonnie pays too much attention to it. Like, he might drop his guard a little bit now that everything's clear.
Well, I'm your Minister of Health. It's kind of my...
Okay. Can we do this up front then? I'll grab a seat. And Clark, I'll do head check. Like, Clark. Where's Clark?
I think he's up there.
Clark,
you are...
Clark has gotten out from underneath of the coil thing, and he's kind of just laying on top of the box of caps and just kind of a little bit exasperated, but also just filled with quite a bit of joy at the amount of bottle caps that we have acquired.
Are you going to respond
Oh, no. No. He's having a moment.
Scrooge McDuck.
Did we lose Clark?
Yeah, exactly.
Do I need to turn this trolley around and go back and find him?
I don't think that's how it works, but... I have to confirm if Clark's okay.
All right.
Sizzling wounds be damned. I have to confirm if Clark's okay.
All right. And Hazel is trying to follow around. Wait.
Hazel, I'll be back.
So the train is moving, and essentially what you're doing is propelling yourself up on top of the it's moving at now it is energized. It is moving at a speed of a normal train. So you're kind of fast moving on top of there. I'll allow you, because you can climb up on top of the train, but just know that there's no getting off.
Well, if there's a horizontal rail and a vertical rail, I could climb up for a ladder and peek up, and
it's covered in these it's essentially covered in old instruments. It looks like something that it's makeshift, how the Satch gun or a number of it is a mixture of old bar tables that it looks like they've taken a street trolley and have just reinforced it with weird bar tables and musical instruments.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna pull myself up there and just enough to be able to peek my head up. I guess I'm going to see him like hugging onto a crate, looking a bit worse for wear.
His hairs are like split all over the ends, and they're like sticking out a bunch. His face is like covered in black. You know, he looks like a cartoon character at this point. You wouldn't know what a cartoon is, Lonnie, because you didn't have a good childhood.
Right.
But anyways,
is he conscious? Is he looking at me like?
Clark is on top of the crate, talking mostly to himself and just very exasperated. We could have had so much more. Oh, God.
I guess he's fine. I'm going to flip down, say, Clark's up there. He's conscious.
He's Clark.
I'm going to waddle my way up to the near the front, and I guess I'm going to see all these like human survivors. What's their like? There aren't really too many humans in Old Nawlins.
no.
This
Oh, where did you find the humans?
right. That's a. I might
y'all
just
from?
ask them. It's like, how old are they? Roughly, is it college or?
They are. That's a great question. Yeah, they are probably like a little bit younger than you, Lonnie. Like just by like a few years. Teenagers mainly. Like young folks that are just like in rags.
Got it. All right, I'm gonna address them because they're probably freaking out. Like some super mutant picked them up on a trolley, and we took them on a high-speed chase with laser fire, and you know they're probably freaking out. And
they are freaking out. They are like,
right.
What is going on?
All right, listen up. Raise your hand if your birthday is February 30th.
They all look at you, Lonnie, and they all like one of them raises their hands slightly, and then the rest of them like kind of like suspiciously put their hands in the air.
Okay. All right. So we are currently heading to a settlement outside of Old Nawlins. I want you all to know that you will be safe there, and we'll talk a little bit more about it as we go along. We're just kind of... We had a very spirited exit from town, but I want you to know that you're free.
One of them pipes up and sees you, and kind of says, "That's great. Hey, is the super mutant is cool, right? That's like a cool. We got him because he's the one that like kind of herded us on here. We were told that we were in danger, and he got us taken care of. So and." I mean, you look a little bad right now, my friend.
Yeah, I kind of feel it, but priorities, right? So this is Signal. He is a friend of ours. He's a good guy. But he is a friend of ours. You can trust him. Now, where we're going, there's going to be another super mutant named Bobby. And he's also cool, okay? I know that you've probably learned a lot of prejudices over the past couple of years. This is going to be a learning opportunity for all of us, okay? So, once we get to the settlement, we'll talk things out, and you can decide what you want to do, okay? Like I said, you are free.
That's great. Who are you?
My name's Lonnie.
And Pep's gonna come up and smack him on the back and say, "And he's our mayor."
Yeah, but I have a lot in common with you all, and maybe we can talk about it a little bit later. Right now, I just kind of want to sit down for a minute or 5.
You hear kind of a voice from the back, and it's not necessarily directed at you, but you hear this voice that's like, who elected him mayor?
It was a democratic process, and I asked myself the same question, Dev.
You hear another voice from the back that says, that was rhetorical.
Noted. You can hop off anytime, smartass.
You little shit. We just got you out of a dangerous situation. More or less intact.
Another one kind of looks at you as like, hey, guy in power armor that is Brotherhood of Steel, maybe? It was this, I don't know how to tell you this, but it was the super mutant that got us on here and said that there was trouble. They were shooting at us in general, and everybody that we knew was kind of like non-responsive, except for kind of us here. So I trust whatever's happening here as long as I get to live and am like not like I can respond. I can do my thing. I'm cool with that, man.
We're that's kind of a new revelation for us too, and we're still trying to figure out what's going on. You may have actually seen more of that than we have. We've been we've been down the vault.
They kind of look at you confused, and they're like, "So what? What does that even mean?"
Clark's gonna jump down and he's gonna get down on the trolley. He's gonna look back over all these people and be like, who the fuck are they?
They're orphans.
Okay.
At this point, Signal kind of like drudges over and goes up to Lonnie and says, "Hey, Lonnie.
Hey, Signal. What's up?
I know good medic. Do you need good medic?"
Any medic's probably sufficient right now. Are they on the trolley?
Yes. And he turns around and says, "Hazel, green gas."
Close. Hi. It's actually green glass, but thank you, Signal, for remembering my name. I appreciate that.
Signal like Hazel, green gas. Like Lonnie, hee.
Yeah. So what is it you call Lonnie?
Lonnie, hee.
The nightmare, Lonnie, hee.
Mayor Lonnie.
Nightmare, Lonnie, hee.
Night.
And Hazel just keeps egging this along. Keeps egging this through.
Hazel, I see what you're trying to do, but he doesn't have very good relationships with the mean metal men. Maybe not associate me with them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I am fairly aware of that.
Hazel, excuse me. I do not control Hazel. Signal looks to Lonnie and said,
"Nobody can control Hazel."
Signal looks to Lonnie and says, "Big lady, big brain, told Signal, get people, young people, put people on train, get people out of city. Signal saw girlfriend Ella taking nap. When get Ella?"
You said big lady?
He kind of points to the back, back towards Madame Malavance.
Oh, She told you to pick people up.
Signal goes, Signal trust, big lady, big brain.
I'm beginning to as well, Signal. I don't know her that well, but I'm looking forward to getting to know her.
Signal looks at you and says, when Ella get here, cookout.
Do we want to save that conversation for another day?
Yep.
Or okay.
Sure thing, buddy.
Signal looks very happy at this and reaches into his pocket and pulls out a doggy bag and hands it to Lonnie and says, "Thank you, Mayor Lonnie."
Sure thing, buddy.
And he drops the doggy bag, and inside of it is a dead bird. Just a dead bird in a doggy bag. And Signal kind of walks back to the train, kind of helping out Madame Malavance.
I will. I'm going to strip off my, I guess, rubber suit and shirt and everything, try to get down the bearskin, because these are burns we're talking about. She's going to have to disinfect and all that stuff. I just anticipate what Hazel's have to do. And she's probably going to understand why, because Lonnie's body, arms with cigarette and cigar burns, you can see his back has been lashed a lot. He's got a lot of scars and discolorations and stuff like that, and you can tell this is probably not his first rodeo. But he just strips down so that she can clean and do what she needs to do.
Yeah. I'm not going to use a stim pack at the moment. I'm going to try and use my actual healing skills to see if I can heal him up a bit.
Do intelligence plus medicine difficulty 3.
Okay. Intelligence plus medicine. Let's see what I can do.
Do you have a med kit?
Yeah, I should.
Does it provide a medical a benefit? Because I've noticed that some items in the book actually provide benefits.
Honestly, I don't know. I've been operating. I mean, I've got several stim packs. I have no more Radaway.
Oh, what would that be? Is
I don't know.
Do you know what the item is? I can look at the compendium.
I'm looking at the compendium and I don't see anything.
First aid kit, maybe.
Maybe first.
Well,
aid.
yeah, I have a basic first aid supplies. I also have bandages and stuff that I picked up along the way. I have anesthetic. I have the my favorite throwing knife, which is also a scalpel. I have clean bandages, thread and needle, just tourniquets, basic first aid supplies. I don't know if it's actually organized into a kit. And then I have the quick response stuff, which is the stim pack.
So what I've been doing for you and how I've handled healing for you is giving you higher rolls and giving you mixed success for how you do. Because your character is the healer.
He's very medic.
If we break it down to that, and so it's how well do you can fail, but it's also how well do you heal, how many hit points, and I base that off of what you have. So technically you have a first aid kit, but I typically give you a harder roll based on how injured people are. So go ahead and do Go ahead and do intelligence plus medicine for difficulty 3.
Okay, and I have made it a point as we've been playing to gather supplies, medical supplies, as I.
That's true.
I have been refilling, and I did specify that I got back my favorite. I got my throwing knife, which is actually a scalpel. So because I'm a nerd like that. Okay, so intelligence plus medicine. 2 d20s. Yep. Rolling. See what I got.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, 4. Not bad.
3 successes. So you managed to heal Lonnie for 8 hit points. Nice. And with that, his burns are kind of like covered enough. You've managed to bandage him up around the areas that he had affected. He still needs time to recover just because of he took 10 points of damage in one hit. Like he got a crit against him, and so he needs to like recover from that. He's not Clark. He can't just Wolverine it back into business.
Did any of us get any damage when we were getting?
None of you got any damage. None of you took.
Except emotional damage. Just emotional damage.
None of you really risked that or risked doing any, you didn't act brashly. And so the world is dangerous enough. So you didn't really, if you're not going to go out of bounds to do something, generally you're not going to get hit unless you, and how people target people. If somebody's provoking them, they're going to go after the first person that attacks them. So it makes sense that Lonnie has all this damage because he was the only one that was actually getting hits off,
Yeah. Unless you do something, I don't know, crazy tackle.
Unless you tackle a Tesla coil while on a moving trolley and then electrocute yourself and the trolley. Yeah, that may have been a little bit out of bounds. At this point, Madame Malavance kind of walks towards Clark, and she said, she looks at you and says, "May I see your hand?"
Yeah, I mean, it's a little burnt right now, but apparently that's going to go away.
She grabs your hand and kind of holds it and looks you in the eye and takes her other hand and places it on your Pip-Boy. And on your Pip-Boy, she presses a few buttons. And when she does this, a voice speaks out of the Pip-Boy. Initiating backup Marty protocol. Updating. Gulf entity identified. Procurement options available. Need more processing power. And it powers off. And as the trolley moves forward into the dark, you come up to the end of the storm and see the sun peeking out from behind the lowlands of Louisiana as a radio tower shoots out through the trees and the trolley stops in front of Rising Sun Settlement.